Hey guys, Spencer here. We're here with Larry Tom, owner of Hobby Action Raceway. In today's video, it's going to be more an informal video for 17.5, 21.5 racers, along with hobby shop and track owners. Larry, you want to take away and kind of talk about a lot of your success that you've had with kind of setting the tone with introducing new classes such as 17.5 four-wheel drive, block timing classes, kind of talk about kind of what the customers like, what the racers have been liking about it, and what it's done for you as a hobby shop and provided as a better race program going forward.
Yeah, kind of like when we first opened, we just had our traditional classes,
Yeah.
you know, 17.5 class, mod class, 2-wheel, 4-wheel. And Jason had one of his INSs that had a spec class, which was a 21.5 lock timing class.
Yep.
At that point, they were the Hobbywing motor, fixed gear ratio, and they provided the motors, and you know the driver put it into their car, put it in the gear ratio, and ran it. We ran that as essentially our sportsman class, and from that race, we kind of stole the idea,
Yep.
and kept that class as part of our weekly club racing. And at that point, there was a couple of 21.5s out there that were fixed timing from the factory, so you can't advance the timing in the motor, and we kept it with a fixed gear ratio. So there's, for our 21.5 class now, the motors have evolved a little bit. Now we have that LRP lock timing motor, because they're just a smidge faster
Yep.
than the Hobbywing stock spec motor,
Right.
and the Reedy stock spec motor, which are 21.5 lock. Most guys are choosing this motor now just because it's a smidge faster. But it's been a pretty successful class. We ran that class. It's probably been, I would say, probably 6 years or 5 years now since we started that class. And we've been averaging on race days probably about 3 heats.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then we got to thinking about, okay, the next step from that point when we had it was then you went to Expert 17.5. And Expert 17.5's pretty fast.
It's very fast.
So, you know, we're thinking about having a transition point from our sportsman class to expert, and what could we do to kind of spread that gap out a little bit. We tried a bunch of 17.5 motors. We had talked to you a couple years back, and Hobbywing had a 17.5 just stock handout spec motor that
Yep.
you really can't order off of their website, but
Sure.
they were making them.
Yeah.
So we'll try it out. We got a couple of motors sent to us, and we really liked it. It was, you know, good power, but it wasn't crazy fast if we set the gear ratio. So what we did is we started our intermediate class in 2-wheel drive using this Hobbywing motor. It's their just stock handout spec.
Yep.
And when we order these, we call up Hobbywing North America. Hey, we need X amount of motors, and they'll usually just drop ship them to us.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit different motor than what's available on the Hobbywing site, but we have them available here at the shop. It's a good motor, good power.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not crazy power as long as you limit the gear ratio. And we talked about not limiting the gear ratio, and we tried it, we tested it, but if you don't limit the gear ratio, I think if any of these spec motors, you know, ends up being just as fast.
Yeah.
Because people are going to try to get as fast as they can.
Yeah, the stator's built a little bit differently than these,
Right.
and they're based more off KV rating. So, like, the potential of gearing, like, it has a lot of opportunity to make it faster.
Yes.
And it's just nice for, you know, as a hobby shop owner or track owner that are watching, you know, hopefully this kind of information would help provide a more disciplined kind of class for the entry level guys that are coming in. So that way, when you have these kind of classes set up, you know, having the proper, if you, like you mentioned, the fixed gearing ratio, which does makes a big difference. It just makes it easy. It doesn't have any questions about anybody cheating or anything. You can check it regularly. You know, random checks just to have that done. The motor runs really efficient, so it doesn't really have to ever worry about running hot.
Yeah. It actually probably runs a little bit too efficient.
Yeah.
Like most of the guys running our 17.5 lock time class, this is my 2-wheel drive car with the motor in it. Don't run a fan because it doesn't get hot.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty incredible how much power is out of this car with this motor. We do fixed gear ratio, this one particular motor that we allow, and you know, if you're starting off, you know, it could be pretty inexpensive, $70 for the motor, and then you could do the just stock speedo, which is under $100.
Right.
Or you can kind of go to the next step and do the stock spec motor, our ESC, which is $130.
Right.
So you get your electronics package pretty inexpensive.
Speaking about the electronics packages, I kind of want to touch base for the people that are watching about the people are asking about the combos, whether it's the 17.5 G4R combo or the just stock combo stuff. You know, do you find that those combos are actually pretty popular? If someone were to come in that kind of was new, or they wanted just to start fresh and they wanted just a whole electronic system package, you know, are you recommending them to get would be the Hobbywing combo package, or you would have them split it up depending on what classes they're running?
We kind of, our customers, what we try to do is kind of give them the option, right? So, you know, we talk to them about how to start your beginning level, and then your potential for going to other classes. Sure. So we'll show them that, you know, for just stock, and this combination works perfect. You know, this combination works perfect for stock. And then we'll talk about the pros, you know, and potential for other programming, and you know, the programming essentially steps up as you get higher, are the programming options. So we'll talk to them about that and give them the option. We've had this combo in the store where, you know, it's just a little over $100 and you get a motor and ESC. It's pretty inexpensive, and we have guys start off that way. Right. But most of the guys would kind of go this middle option just because of the programming capabilities of this version. Yeah,
I mean, ultimately when it comes down to is just kind of what fits your budget, what you're trying to, your long-term goals are. It's nice, it's you know, having the different options, whether it's the Hobbywing or the Reedy or whatever it may be, having the variations of options, like you had mentioned earlier with the just stock, the other P, and then kind of working our way towards the forward drive class. We've kind of touched based on kind of the classes that you've introduced with the two-wheel drive. This is the one that I think has probably been the most eye-opening experience for the racing now and off-road, and I'm hoping it works its way into the carpet division style racing. Larry, you want to talk about kind of what you guys introduced for the four-wheel drive class?
Yeah, so, you know, kind of the same problem I think a lot of tracks have is, especially with four-wheel drive, is the skill level. You know, if you're starting off, that skill level is a little bit different from a guy that's been running a car for over a year. But the speed is the same. You know, we started off with a 13.5 four-wheel. You know, that's what most everyone runs across the country. Yeah. But the skill level of your beginner 13.5 four-wheel drive starting and the guy that's been running it for more than a couple of years is a huge gap difference. Yeah. Right? And it's controlling that power. Yeah. You know, and no matter how much we talk to a new customer about, hey, you don't need the super hot $150 motor. You can slow it down a little bit, have a little bit more control of the car. So we had this motor. We tried it. We had a couple guys try it in a four-wheel drive car. The guys at IERC were running already 17.5 open motor in their four-wheel drives, and we're having some success. But you know, for us, we like having that spec class, kind of taking some of the guesswork out of the equation for guys.
It opens up some more opportunities for people to have success, and ultimately, when you come into racing, you know, if you're constantly getting your butt whooped or whatever it may be, it starts to take a toll on you, and you know, you don't really know if you want to stick with it. But what you kind of introduce is another way for people to have, you know, great runs, a podium or a first place, and that's kind of the biggest thing that I've seen for tracks that haven't really utilized this kind of opportunity with the motor classes available, whether it's from Hobbywing or whoever, is kind of these kind of classes that you've created with the 17.5 lock timing, and then also 17.5 expert class. So for the guys that have run the expert class, they would run either the 17.5 G4R or whatever that they're normally accustomed to for the experienced group of guys. But for those who are either the 40 plus people that are trying to look for, you know, they don't want to battle with guys that are, necessarily getting paid to run stock, so to speak, but also have the fun of having great power. Which those classes are. Do you want to touch base with the gearing limitations? Is it?
Yeah, we do a gearing limitation. So there were some challenges between the manufacturers of cars and getting the gear ratio kind of right. The Associated car was probably the easiest to do because they have the 72 spur gear. And getting the power out of this motor was kind of perfect. The low-C car, or the TLR car, what guys are doing now are putting in the Associated center diff in their Associated car. And it's been working out for the guys. We have a good mixture of both TLR cars and the Associated four-wheel drive cars. The Schumacher car, we've worked with gear ratios for the guys that are running that car. A little bit more unique because it's a belt drive. So the efficiency isn't there, and we've kind of worked with them on gearing and had them, kind of test different gears and get them close to kind of the same speed. And it's just worked out. Our guys have been super awesome. Understanding that, but it's not the four-wheel drive class is a little bit more unique because it's a little bit more challenging on getting all the cars kind of the same speed, just because the drive ratios are so different on all the cars.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the one thing that's, like you said, that was challenging is all the different car manufacturers gearing is a little bit differently. But luckily for two-wheel drive, it's pretty straightforward. But for the guys that the tracks out there that haven't introduced this class to your racing program, I mean, you're basically saying it's a no-brainer.
It's been awesome. We on club racing weekends, our spec classes are our biggest classes. 17.5 two-wheel drive. We can get 20 to 30 guys racing out on the club race. Even on a weekday night. The 21.5 class is kind of the same way. The unfortunate part about that is most of the guys that were running our expert class has gotten much smaller. But the competition has gotten better, right? So our expert fast guys are together, and then our intermediate guys are kind of together, and they're all super fast, super close together.
Well, what's nice about having the expert class and the lock timing class is that starting off with the lock timing, I kind of don't know this answer, and you'll answer this. The people that buy a lock timing motor for the 17.5 or 21.5 class, can they run that motor in the expert class?
We don't allow them to, just the 17.5, because if we've kind of open the gear ratio on this.
But if people were to run the lock gear ratio, is that allowed or no?
We don't allow them to. So when they go to that expert class, they have to have a Roar-approved 17.5 motor. We kind of messed with this a little bit, the handout spec, and just messed with gearing. And this motor will go crazy speed-wise.
Well, that's good. All right. I mean, honestly, I think we kind of covered a lot of stuff. I hope that this video kind of helps you racers out of kind of understanding kind of where maybe you should be regarding what classes you guys should run, and just ultimately having the better experience when you're at the track. Obviously, you want to have the opportunity to have success at races, and maybe having that 21.5 two-wheel drive class would be a good starting point for those who are just coming into the hobby. And then for four-wheel drive, if you're a four-wheel drive racer, maybe nudging your hobby shop track owner or race director to maybe having this class kind of built at your guys' local track. Larry, before we let you go, just a general rule of thumb of kind of, yesterday I did a hobby wing clinic, so to speak, and also kind of talking about speaking shoals, motors and such. A lot of your local team guys, or local not team guys, I guess local racers, they've most of them, if not all of them, had Hobbywing speaking shoals and motors. What, just from what you see from the business, what is the reason why people choose that? Is that something that you guys sell because of it's the most popular? Is it the more durable, more reliable? What's the reason why? Obviously they had the LRP here, and you've offered other motors and stuff in the shop. But why are people choosing to run the Hobbywing stuff?
Yeah, I think it's having that option, right? having the availability of choosing kind of ESCs that are reliable, from their $70 ESC to their $230 ESC.
So they fill in the gaps a little bit better variety than maybe some.
I think so. And we sell Reedies, we sell much more ESCs. We sell the kind of the full line of the ESCs, but our most popular ones are our Hobbywings.
Okay.
We do have a lot of guys running it. I think the convenience, you have the new program box, just makes it super easy to use.
Yeah. With that program box, people had it actually yesterday, and they were really liking that you can have the program box in your hand and change it really quick, or you can also, that new program box also has the OTA system built in, so you can also use the app. So not to mention, I think it's like, I can't remember what the price tag is on it. It's super cheap.
Cheaper than OTA.
It's cheaper than OTA. So obviously that's just showing you that technology is just getting better and easier to develop, and Hobbywing's been one of the first to kind of come on board with that kind of stuff. Obviously R1 and these guys are coming on board with having that similar technology, but it's nice. It's a variety. I don't think in general you can go wrong with anything that you guys sell here at the shop, but it's a clear that with you guys having these new classes, people are having more options to run, and it's having a lot more success here. And I mean, having 130 entries on a normal Saturday, I mean, that's the best in the country. And I think a lot of that trickles down to kind of taking the risk of having these, I wouldn't say risk, but introducing a new class. And what shows you that it's responding really well, because people are liking the opportunity to have the success and not battle with the guys that are getting paid and everything. And that's something that hopefully this video shows you guys, and hopefully we'll see it more and more at different events. And kind of go from there.
And if any of the track owners have any questions and want to ask me what we've done and why we've done it, they can shoot me an email, larry@hobbyaction.com, and I'm open to talk about what we've done and how we run our shop and how we run our racing.
Awesome. Once again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Spencer Rivkin, Larry Tom here. Feel free to check out the Hobby Actions Raceway's Facebook page. And like Larry said, if you have any questions regarding any information regarding the classes and such, feel free to reach out to him or myself. Also check out Hobbywing's Facebook page and YouTube channel. We also do a podcast for free giveaway stuff. So if you're looking to get into this stuff, it's a podcast. It's called RC Fun. Charlie Schwenka and myself and Matty G are on it doing some cool stuff for giveaways. And once again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. That was good.
Yeah.